and welcome to lesson 14 of JavaScript. In this lesson, we are going to look at conditional statements. My name is Mildred. Before now, we have used conditional statements, but we have not really looked at the concept of conditional statements. Conditional statements is just simple, and it's something that we do when we want to execute a block of code if it satisfies a specified condition, and execute another block of code if it doesn't satisfy that condition but satisfies a different condition. So we use if condition. If the condition is true, execute this block of code. If the condition is false, execute this block of code. So this is how we use the if-else statement. So let's say, for instance, we have let x be equal to 18, for instance. We want to say if x is less than 18. If x is less than 18, we want to do something. Let's say we'll say let text be equal to x is less than 18. And if it is not less than 18, we'll say let text be equal to x is not less than 18. And we want to print out text to the page like this. So for instance, let's say let text out here to be global, and then we're not going to declare it here. Save, refresh my page, and x is not less than 18 because x is not less than 18. If I want to have a third condition, I will use the else if statement like this and specify another condition, and I will say check the first condition if x is less than 18. Print out x is less than 18 to the text variable. Check the second condition if x is equal to 18. So we'll say if x is equal to 18, we'll say text will be equal to x is equal to 18. And if both of these conditions are false, print out x is not less than or equal to, like this. So when I print out text to the page, it's going to print out x is equal to 18 because it matches this condition. So save, refresh my page, and I have x is equal to 18. You can say if x is less than or equal to 18, use x is less than 18. If x or else, you say x is equal to 18. So you can use your conditional statement like this. If x is less than or equal to 18, you say x is not greater than 18. And then you say else x is greater than 18. So now x is equal to 18, so it will put x is not greater than 18 here to the page. So there are many ways you can put your condition. Look at the different comparison operator that you use to compare two values for you to be able to write a condition in JavaScript. Now there's another method we can use, which is the switch method, or there's another way of doing conditional statements by using the switch method, and we'll write the switch method like this. So I'm going to delete this and delete this. So the switch method has the syntax using the switch keyword like this. In a pair of parentheses, you put the expression that you want here, and then in a pair of curly braces, you begin to put your cases. Let's say case x, the block of code to be executed here. Then you break. You have another one, case y, the block of code to be executed, and then break like this. So you have several cases, several breaks, and then you have a final one called default, which is going to give you the default code to be printed if none of the values in the cases are satisfied. And so let's look for an example. Let's say I want to say let grade be equal to A, for instance. We want to look at the different cases. So let's say case A, we want it to do something when the A is satisfied. So we have let grade is equal to A. Let's declare another variable. Let's say let remarks, like this. So we're going to be using these remarks to print out what is going to be printed to the page. So when the case is A, we want remarks to be equal to excellent, like this. Then break out of the loop. If the case is not A and the case is B, we want to put remarks as equal to good. If the case is not B, and let's say the case is C, for instance, let's say remarks is equal to fair. And if the case is not A, not B, not C, we want a default remarks for them to be equal to fail. Now this is the syntax. What will print out to the page is remarks. So for the switch statement, you have an expression here, and the expression is going to be something like switch grade, because what we have is grade that we are checking. So we are switching grade. The expression here is going to be take the variable or whatever condition it is that you are looking at. If grade is A, we want to set remarks to excellent and then break out of the. If case is not A, check the next case. If case is B, we want to print remarks is equal to good and break out of the loop. If not, check C. If it is not, print out fair. So this is another way of using conditional statements where it loops through different options and now sees the match and print out what you want it to do when it finds its match. And if it doesn't find its match, it should print out what the default is. So now grade is equal to A. We're going to have excellent printed to the page. When I save this and I refresh my page, I have excellent on the page. So let's assume that grade is equal to D, for instance. This is not part of the conditions, so we're going to have fail printed to the page because we are using the default value. If case is going to be C, or we're going to see the remarks to be fair on the page, and I have failed to the page, and that's because I did not break out of this like this. So always remember that the break is very important. Refresh and I have fair printed to the page. So this is in summary how we use conditional statements. It will make more sense when you're applying it to real life programming, which is what we are going to do in the last 2 weeks of the course. So this is where we end this lesson. Thank you and see you in the next lesson.